In a faraway kingdom, there once lived a great and noble king. He was wise, just, and beloved by his people. Yet deep within his heart, a question often stirred. How can a man be sure he is doing the right thing at the right time? He pondered this day and night. Every decision he made shaped the lives of thousands. He wished to find the secret to perfect judgment. To never make a mistake, never act too soon or too late. He thought, if I could find the answers to these three questions, I would never fail in anything I do. What is the right time to act? Who are the most important people? And what is the most important thing to do? The king announced across the land that whoever could answer these questions would be richly rewarded. Scholars, priests, warriors, and wise men from every corner of the kingdom came before him. Each brought a different answer. One said, the right time to act is when every plan is ready. Another insisted, the most important people are the ones who guide your soul. And a warrior declared, the greatest thing to do is conquer your enemies. The king listened patiently, but none of their words satisfied his heart. Their answers were clever, but they lacked truth. And so, he decided to seek wisdom, not intellect. He had heard of a hermit who lived in a forest, a man known to speak only with simple folk, and only when he wished to. The king left behind his guards and riches, dressing in plain robes, and rode alone into the forest. The forest was quiet. Birdsong mingled with the whisper of leaves. There, before a small hut, he found the hermit, an old man, frail yet serene, digging the earth with his hands. The king bowed low. Wise hermit, he said softly, I have come to ask you three questions. Tell me, when is the right time to act? Who are the most important people? And what is the most important thing to do? The hermit did not answer. He kept digging, breathing heavily with effort. The king waited, then spoke again. Still, the hermit said nothing. At last, the king said, you are tired. Let me help you. He took the spade from the hermit's hands and began to dig. Hour after hour, the two worked silently. The sun sank behind the trees, and still the hermit said nothing. As the king was about to speak again, a man stumbled out of the forest, clutching his side. Blood streamed from a deep wound. Without hesitation, the king ran to him. Quick! Bring water, he called. He tore his own robe into strips to bandage the man's wound. The hermit fetched water. Together, they washed and dressed the wound, and through the night, the king stayed beside the man, wiping his brow and tending the fire. When morning came, the wounded man opened his eyes. Seeing the king, he turned his face away in shame. Forgive me, he whispered. I was your enemy. I waited to kill you as you returned from the forest. But your guards found me first and struck me down. I would have died there if you had not saved me. Forgive me, my king. The king smiled gently. There is nothing to forgive. Rest now. You are safe. And from that moment, the man's heart was changed. The one who came as an enemy departed as a friend. Later that morning, the king found the hermit outside the hut, watching the sun rise through the trees. Wise hermit, said the king, my questions remain unanswered. Please, tell me before I go home. The hermit looked at him with kind eyes and said, you have already found your answers. The king frowned slightly. What do you mean? The hermit replied, if you had not stayed with me yesterday, you would have been killed by that man on your way home. So, the most important time was when you were digging the ground. The most important person was I, for I was with you then. And the most important thing to do was to do good, to help me. Later, when the wounded man came, the most important time was when you cared for him. The most important person was that man. And the most important thing to do was to show kindness. The king stood in silence as the truth settled over him. And he understood. The right time is now. The most important person is the one you are with. And the most important thing to do is to do good. He bowed deeply before the hermit and rode back to his kingdom. The forest that once seemed dark now glowed with golden light. The birds sang, and the path ahead felt clear. From that day forward, the king ruled differently. He did not rush, nor worry about the future. Every person he met, he treated with care. Every moment became sacred. He learned that wisdom is not found in books or crowns. It grows quietly in the heart when one chooses to be present, kind, and true. And as the sun set one evening, the king stood again on his balcony, the same as in the beginning. But this time, he smiled in peace. The kingdom below was calm, the world bathed in golden light. He realized that life's greatest wisdom was never hidden in faraway temples or among scholars' scrolls. It lived in every moment, waiting to be lived fully. The time is always now. The person beside you is always the most important. And the greatest act is to love and to do good.